What's your take on what Russia has done? And is anything they're talking about doing gonna work? Well, that the race hype this morning was expected 350 basis points. Some people expected capital controls, and the session this morning, they didn't do that. It failed. Really, the ruble rallied a bit, and then it's back towards 100 level. Markets not convinced, and now you've been reporting the capital control story. I mean, very predictable. The reality is rate hikes and capital controls don't solve the underlying problem, which is the war. Putin is losing the war. It's very bad for Russia's balance of payments. Obviously, sanctions are hurting them, hurting on the export side now, with the oil price cap hurting them in terms of imports cost a lot more, and also capital flight is accelerated. Remember, also sanctions have meant that a lot of Russia's foreign exchange reserves have been frozen, so they cannot use those in defense. The defense on the currency. Tim, why is a weaker currency a bad thing? Why have they decided to fight against that weaker currency? And hit the economy in theory by raising rates as a result. Why is that the better option than immune is going with? Well, I mean, a weaker currency means higher inflation. Exchange rate pass through. There's a danger, I think, that you see a complete collapse of the currency, which they obviously don't want as well. And I mean, generally countries like stronger currencies. I mean, it's a sign of success, economic health, well-being. No country in a good place devalues its currency. The countries devalue when they have problems, and I think that's the reality of the moment. The war's not going well. It's costing a lot of money. Sanctions are beginning to work. The current accounts position. There's a massive deterioration for the first 7 months of the year. Current house surplus was down 85%. What would happen with capital controls? Well, likely they, at the moment, Russians can get something like $1 million a month out of the country. They've been doing that. You can see from the partner data from Central Asia, Transcaucasian, Turkey, Dubai. Britons are getting money out. They're not buying the story. They're not buying the Putin story. Likely that limit will be reduced very significantly. They did that actually straight after the invasion in February 22, and because the currency went to like 120 then, so they did that. It did stabilize the currency, but I think the difference this time around is the balance of payments look really bad now. I mean, the oil price cap is really hitting those oil and energy revenues. So what happens next? How does this story evolve? Well, unless the war ends and sanctions stop, it's not going to get any better. Russia has no roots of victory in the Ukraine. I don't see sanctions easing Russia's the availability of dollars, which they need, is not going to get any better. They're just going to draw down reserves. So unless they massively hike rates and completely close the economy with capital controls, which stops growth, there's no easy way out from this.